Hello everybody, Ivan here. I usually post videos related to my books or related to writing and how this might affect other writers. In this particular video, it's more of the latter of the two. This is for the sake of other writers out there who are either publishing or thinking about publishing on Kindle or Createspace. I have published 20 books through Kindle and 20 books through Createspace. I published on these two platforms and loved the concept that even though I knew there was probably mistakes in the books, I could just go along and correct them later. I didn't have to have 10,000 copies of a book made to have it published. I could just go along and make corrections and fix it as I went along. And this has really worked pretty well, all things considered. But I've run into a minor hitch or two. If you're a writer, you might want to listen up. In case you're thinking about publishing through Kindle or through CreateSpace, you're going to run into a minor rub or two. And this is something like the way it goes. You publish your book on Kindle, and after a little bit, you find a mistake. And you fix the mistake, and that's fine. And you republish the book on Kindle. And up till now, you're doing really good. And then you go to look at the corrections, and you realize it won't post an update to it. You're not going to see the corrections on Kindle. A new customer will see the corrections, but you, owning an old copy of it, will not see the corrections. Well, as a writer, this is kind of a bit of a problem. Sure, you can see the PDF you have online at home, but that is not the same way as the customer sees it. So you have a little difficulty. Now, my one way of getting around it is, on the beginning of my books, I post a dating that shows when it was updated. And when I go in to check the samples, the updated copies show. So I know the new customers are getting updated copies of my book. But the problem is, as a writer, and as a man who spent 20 years in production printing, I can't see my new copies as the customers see it. Along comes Kindle offering me the Kindle library for 30 days for free. And I'd hoped that here would be a way to resolve the problem. I would check the book out of the library, read it, put it back in, do the updates, and hope that they gave me an updated copy when I checked it back out again later. That's not the way it works. Now I can understand why, if you have a million authors and they're all making changes and fixes, you don't want to be pushing out fixes all the time to your books and customers. But I'm kind of surprised the lending library won't let me get the updated copy. They remember which version of it I have and go back in history and pull that version out. Well, I find that rather annoying. And so the Kindle for $10 a month is probably not going to sell for me because I need a way to be able to see my books. Sorry. So if you're an author, this is not going to solve your problem. Save yourself the time and trouble. If you don't have another reason for wanting that library, don't get it thinking that it's going to help you to look at your books. It won't. The other side of this is CreateSpace. Now, I have over 20 years in production printing. CreateSpace takes my book, prints it, ships it to me, perfect bound, for $3.50. The shipping on it is $1. I get the book for $4.50. Now, the way I get shipping down to $1 is I do books in sets of 4. Most of my book series are written as 4s, and so I pay the shipping for a box of 4 books at about $5, and it brings my cost of the book up to about $4.50 per book. And that's really good. Shipped to my door, 4 different books, perfect bound. That's really pretty cool. However, Amazon Prime offers free shipping. And while I don't publish fixes that fast, it had occurred to me that if I used it for a few other things, maybe it would be worthwhile. It won't work. Amazon Prime will let me ship my books to the customers for free, but they won't let me ship my proofs to me for free. I can't really complain. What they charge me for shipping is so inexpensive, but if I can't get my own stuff for free, why would I pay them the Amazon Prime $10 a month? It's just not going to happen. videos they have don't interest me that much. I don't buy that much from Amazon. Their one chance for a good sale for me went out the window. So, as an author, if you think you're going to get updates on your books from Amazon, you're not. Whether through Kindle or through the Createspace, you're either going to not get the updates at all, or in the case of paperbacks, you're going to have to pay for the shipping each time. I mean, it's really inexpensive, but it's still the point. You're going to be paying for the shipping. Amazon Prime won't help you. So, for the writers out there in the group, it's worth a note. I think I've rambled long enough, and I think you get the concept. Got to go now. Bye, everybody.